Are you a user experience designer or a product manager who's maybe convinced your boss that it's time to start talking to your users, but you don't know what you should ask your users? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you specific examples of questions you can ask during a user research interview or a usability test. But first, a little bit more about me. My name is Sarah Doody, and I'm a user experience designer and entrepreneur based in New York City. And these episodes are filled with honest answers and insights to your questions about design, technology, and business. And if you want to learn more about user experience, you can get my weekly user experience newsletter called The UX Notebook. Just get it at theuxnotebook.com, and you'll get your first issue on Friday. But back to that question of what questions do I ask in a user research interview or usability test? So I get asked this a lot. People say, okay, I've convinced my boss we need to do research, and now I don't have a clue what to do or what questions to ask. So let's assume that you are going to do an interview, and maybe this product is in market, or maybe it's brand new. Maybe it's a new feature for your existing product. But the way that I like to structure interview questions is, first of all, I always go into an interview with a discussion guide or a script. Now, this guide is a set of questions that we intend to ask and get answers to. Because of the nature of how interviews work, though, you cannot expect that you will get to cover all of the questions on your list, because what happens is when you're asking someone the question, you'll end up asking them follow-up questions. You'll say, oh, well, why did you do that? Or how did that work out? Or was that what you expected to happen? So as you can see, if you have a question list of 30 questions, you might only get to ask 15 of them. So you have to reiterate that your discussion guide or script is just that. It's a guide. It's not a guarantee that you're going to ask all these questions. So I'm just going to look down at my little list of questions here because I don't want to miss anything. So I like to structure the interviews in this way. I like to do a little bit of an intro section, a little bit of a section where we get to know maybe their technology habits and their lifestyle. And then I like to dive into kind of the meat and potatoes of the actual interview. So the first section of the interview is what I would call customer intro questions. And these are just questions to kind of be icebreakers, to get to know the person. So we might say, hey, tell me what your typical day looks like. What's a day in the life? And then they'll tell you maybe about their job, their family, their hobbies, etc. Maybe I might want to use this time to get to know a little bit about their relationship with technology. So I might say, okay, on an average day, when do you first start using technology? And then they might say, well, I actually check my phone in bed because it's my alarm clock. So I'm laying there and I get on my phone as soon as I wake up. You'll probably hear that because I hear that, and I would say 99% of the interviews I do. But so day in the life, technology habits, maybe ask them about their role at their company. What's your job? How did you get into this? Just icebreaker questions really are good. Then we start to get into some topic-specific questions. So let's say we are doing an interview related to a fitness product. So this is the time when we've broken the ice, got to know the person, a little bit about their life. Now we want to dive deeper into the topic of running and fitness. So we might say something like, hey, can you tell me, what's your workout routine? How often do you work out? And they will then tell us maybe how often they work out, what types of exercises they do. Do they do group fitness? Do they do running? Do they belong to a gym? Do they not belong to a gym? They may bring this up all on their own, or those might be follow-up topics that you ask them. So let's imagine that we're interviewing for a product that has to do with training for a running race. Let's say helping people train for their first 5K. So other questions we might ask would be, have you ever trained for a race before? And let's assume they say yes. Then we could say things like, how did you go about coming up with a schedule for that? Then they'll tell us, oh, I used an app, or I went to this website, or my friend gave it to me. Tell me about the last race you trained for. It's another way of kind of asking the same question, but having them recount the story of what they did. So tell me about the last time you blank is a really great question, because it gets the people telling the real life stories of whatever the topic is. So the real life story of how they trained for that 5K, how they planned that vacation, how they purchased the vacuum. Tell me about the last time you. That's one I always ask. What was the biggest problem in that process? What was the hardest part about buying that vacuum? What was the hardest part about booking that plane ticket? Then again, they'll start to tell you all those stories. Other questions you could ask around the topic. Did you have to come up with any workarounds for this? So did you have to tweak the running schedule? Did you have to make an Excel sheet or something? They will tell you their alternative solutions, which is really interesting for you as the researcher, because you want to know what problem they had and if they made alternative solutions. Because if they made alternative solutions, that's a strong indicator that they might be looking for a new solution, or at least open to one, and bonus if they would pay us for that. Other questions. What other products or tools have you used to do X? They might mention competitor apps, websites, Facebook groups, other resources that you may not have known about. Have you paid for any of these tools? How did you hear about them? Let's move on to the next section, just in the interest of time. So next we might move on to what I would call product opportunity questions. So let's say we then had a demo or a little prototype of a product that we had made around training for a 5K. So we might bring it up on the screen, and let's say we go to the homepage. We might say something like, hey, this is a prototype we made, and we just want you to take a look at this first screen, maybe scroll up and down a little bit, and just give us your general impressions of this. What do you think it is? What task can it help you do? How's it going to help you in your running training? And then we close our mouths and we listen to what they say. So as I scroll up and down the page, they'll probably kind of narrate, because hopefully we're asking them to talk aloud and tell us what's going through their head. So what do you think of this product? What do you think of this homepage? Then we move on to things like, why do you think someone would use this product? What type of person is this product aimed at based on this homepage? Could you see yourself ever using this product? Anyone you know? Why do you think you could trust this product? Now, this might not be as relevant to, say, an app to help you train for a 5K, but let's say it was related to finance. How would you know you can trust this product or this website? How do you think this product or website is going to help you? What would you use this product today? What would you do? What would you hope to get out of it? These are all questions that can kind of help us evaluate that prototype, a homepage, the product that we are showing them, assuming we have something to show. Next, we run into these, what I would say, product reaction questions. So again, these could be questions that we are asking for a prototype, or sometimes if I don't have a prototype ready, I will go to a competitor's website and ask these same questions. So what is most appealing about this product if it's a competitor product? What's most appealing? Why do you like it? Why do you stick with it? What's the hardest part about it? Was there anything surprising or unexpected in this product? Or if you're walking them through your product, was there anything surprising when you purchased that item, booked that flight, completed that task? Was there anything missing? Was there things that you expected to happen that didn't happen? And would you keep using this product after you saw it today. Great questions to just get people's gut reactions. So I know those are a ton of questions, and there are a lot more you could ask, but I wanted to give you that kind of high-level summary. We ask these intro questions to break the ice. Then we dive into the topic. Then if we have a prototype or a competitor product we can show, then we dive into those product opportunity and product reaction questions. So that's how I generally structure an interview, user research interview. Now, I know that was a lot. So we have all these questions in a download for you. We'll link to it below, but also you can just go to sarahdoody.com/research questions. And that's the short link to get this PDF with 35 questions that you can ask and some tips as well. So if you are getting ready to do user research interviews or usability tests, or you've done them in the past, you'll probably still learn a lot from this. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you guys. And if you want to learn more about user experience, just get my weekly user experience newsletter. Just go to theuxnotebook.com and you'll get UX tips, articles, videos dropped in your inbox every Friday. I curate the whole thing. So if you like this, you'll probably like that newsletter as well. Thanks, guys, and I will talk to you soon. See you later.